AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Goodwood, Men's Sexual Wellness. Matt, Alondra, we're here on site. Muse, Cassie back in studio, and we're glad you're hanging out. Maybe you're driving down Segan, pop on in here to Marucci's Hitter's House. Well, if for nothing else, come shop. Come take some hacks in the cage. We're giving away free armbands as well. Giving away free armbands. You want one? Come on, bro. Come pick one out. Come on down. Pick out 2 if you want. They got a red one. They got a camo one. I don't know what your size is. That one looks like what is that, leopard? Leopard? That one's pretty cool as well. What's your name? Jack, I'm Matt. Good to meet you, man. You're live on the radio now, and you're famous. See that camera right there? Everybody's looking at you, Jack. Give me a little bit. What position you play? Center field. He can fly, I could tell. Huh? You power hitting center fielder? I'd love to hear that. All right, Jack, go take some hacks, man. Knock it out the park. Y'all come hang out with us here at Marucci Hitter's House. Got tons of 104.5 ESPN swag as well. Shirts, hats, sign up to win tickets to Post Malone. Love coming here, man. Vibes are always immaculate, especially on a beautiful sun-kissed day like this where it's 65 degrees and Jack's rolling through here. You know, he had a Dodger hat on, but it was purple and gold. Like Lakers colors or LSU colors, but I'm guessing like LA Lakers with the Dodgers LA. Interesting. And by the way, I don't care who you want to cheer for in Major League Baseball, you pick your team because we don't got a team here. Now, if we had the Marucci version of like a basketball place and you rolled in here with like a LeBron jersey, then I got a problem with you. Like, but we had a minute here where like, all these kids are running around with Steph Curry jerseys. I'm like, what are these parents teaching their kids? To be a front runner? No, man. You go through the pain of being a Pelicans fan. That's what you do. Because when you climb the mountain, it's going to be that much more meaningful. And sometimes sports is like life. Sometimes it sucks. My wife wearing Mahomes jerseys and whatnot. Well, that's only because Travis Kelce is marrying Taylor Swift. That's literally the only reason why. All right, I digress. Hey, we're glad you're hanging out with us here. Speaking of, so Tyler Shough was a guest on Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn. And, man, I loved this weekend for St. Patty's Day. Our colleague on Talk 107.3, Brian Haldane, was down in Metairie at the St. Patty's Day parade, and who does he just randomly bump into? Not in the parade, like just sitting in a bag chair on the side of the street waiting for the parade to roll by. Saints quarterback Tyler Shough. From that to the Savannah Bananas and everything else, Tyler Shough, his family, he and his wife obviously have a newborn. They have immersed themselves in New Orleans, which you love to see, and he talked a little bit about that with the guys.
I mean, it's been such a blessing because you come here and you don't really know much about a lot of the cultures, a lot of the, what goes on, the music, what's important to people. And I think it was, what helped me out throughout my college career was going to different places, meeting new people, having to really kind of be genuine and earn everybody's respect. But you can't do that, right away. It's got to come naturally through time. And I still have to do that. I've only played half a season, if that. So my mindset is, we got so much more to go. But yeah, I've loved it here. I think it's like the people here are what make it. I think that's why everyone stays here. I think everyone I've talked to, you're either from here or you moved here and you haven't left. And it's such a cool kind of environment to be in. So I'm just excited to kind of continue to grow and see what we can do.
part of Tyler Shough's story undeniably is the 7 years that he spent in college, right? And so he got into the NFL as a 25-year-old rookie. He's 26 now. But one of the things, and I understand there's two sides of this coin when you talk about Shough and his age, and this was a conversation for a year ago when he was going through the draft process, because some teams might shy away thinking, do I want to draft a 25-year-old rookie? You know, he's already like maybe deeper into his prime, so I'm going to have him for a shorter window. Whereas if you draft a player that's 20 after 3 years of college, he's going to have a longer, in theory, a longer NFL career. Now, the flip side of that is when you draft a guy that's 25, that's married, that's gone through true adversity, season-ending injuries, he's transferred to several different places. You're talking about getting a player at 25 that's more mature and probably more ready to play and more ready to be a pro. And I think that answer there was kind of illustrative of that. You're talking about a guy that is married, who is a father, who has other considerations in life and isn't, 21 getting broke off for the first time and trying to go find, bottle service. It's just you're at a different phase of life. And so I think that's helpful. So just as a comparison, Shough came to New Orleans as a draft pick at the same age that Drew Brees came to New Orleans as a free agent. Now, Brees had his rookie contract, his rookie deal in San Diego with the Chargers. And so it's just a different era, right? But you're still talking about dudes in their mid-20s when they showed up in New Orleans. And actually, that's something else that Shough talked about with the guys, is how Drew Brees has sort of helped him in this transition.
Talking to Drew Brees was really big for me because he had a unique experience in San Diego before he even got to the Saints. And he wasn't even Drew Brees as we know and love that first year or the second year. And it was, I think, a culmination of over time. And it's really cool to kind of, I think we put a lot of pressure on young players and draft picks and free agent signees and all these guys. And I think over time you really want to have that long-term investment. I think the coaches understood that. And for my job is just kind of continue to grow and keep doing it.
Speaking of free agent signings, of course, the Saints have been very, very active. David Edwards, Travis Etienne, that they added early. Caden Ellis after DeMario Davis left. We saw Ty Chandler sign earlier this week, so they've added more running back depth. And Tyler Shough seems to be pretty encouraged by what the front office has done so far.
It's obviously really encouraging for me because those guys are elite level players and getting to know them as humans too. And it's been really cool because you kind of see their vision, you see the front office's plan, and you love what they're doing. And my job is to continue to get better and be the best quarterback I can be for the team and for those guys that are coming in and want to win and want to contribute.
A couple of more, one more, the follow-up on free agency and sort of the plan moving forward for the Saints, which I think is crystallizing as we can see it, right? I mean, they addressed offensive guard to solidify the offensive line in front of Shough. They added Travis Etienne at running back to give him another weapon and hopefully improve what was the 28th rated rushing offense in the NFL a year ago. Now, hopefully in the draft, we'll see them address the defense, maybe add another playmaker on the outside. But Shough is, based on what he said in this interview on OTB, sort of on board with what the thought is here from this front office.
The exciting part is that the plan that we have in place, the process that we're kind of going through to get there, and it's going to be a process. I don't think it's going to be an immediate, oh my goodness, like first half of the season, first game, whatever it's going to be, like we figured it out. And I think that's kind of the thing I learned last year is that the Patriots and the Seahawks were kind of counted out a little bit in the beginning of the season. A lot of those teams are, how do you kind of stay in the fight? So I think that's kind of our mission going forward, to see how we can kind of keep getting better.
I will be very interested, as you sort of alluded to how things start. We talk about it often, not just who you play, but when and where you play them. The one game we know about the when and the where is the game on October 25th that the Saints are going to play in Paris. Aside from that game that they're going to play in Paris on October the 25th, we don't know any of the other when and where. So how the schedule shapes up for the New Orleans Saints is something we won't find until the NFL does their annual schedule release, at what point we'll have a better sense of what's realistic for New Orleans out the chute. But in a division that continues to struggle to find elite-level teams that emerge, I mean, Carolina came from the doldrums to win the division a year ago and is now projected for 2026 to finish dead last in the NFC South. After Tampa and Baker Mayfield being sort of a mid-team had won the division several years in a row. I do think it's possible. I don't think the Saints will be a contender like Shough was alluding to with Seattle and New England, who played the Super Bowl. I guess weirder things have happened, like Seattle and New England playing in the Super Bowl. But I do think winning the division and being a playoff team is realistic. I mean, you were a 6-win team last year. You improve and get toward 9 or 10 wins. You certainly could win a mediocre to bad division. But one more from Tyler Shough. And again, if you want to hear this entire interview with Hester and Matt Flynn, you can catch it on demand on Off the Bench YouTube podcast. But one more, he talked about sort of his approach going into his second year in the NFL.
I'm really just excited to kind of get back with all the guys and kind of know what it looks like from the standpoint of how can we continue to kind of grow in the offense, what do we want to change. And then for me, going into it, you don't even know what an NFL practice looks like or what the reps are going to look like. I mean, let alone where you even park at the stadium or where your locker is. And then you kind of start getting your rhythm and you start getting a routine. And I think that was the biggest thing for me was having that routine set. And now kind of going into this off season, I really wanted to be intentional and have a plan about, my process of getting better because, and that included staying here in New Orleans and doing everything I can to be here and be around all the guys.
Not only that, but remember a year ago at this time, Tyler Shough wasn't even a member of the New Orleans Saints. And even if you fast forward 30, 60, 90 days, he wasn't even sure he was going to be the starter and didn't become that until later in the season. So a very different approach in year two where he is unquestionably the leader and starter for the New Orleans Saints. Tyler Shough, great conversation there with Hester and Flynn on Off the Bench. All right, it's after further review. Momma Scone in 15 minutes from right now. One of your favorite segments annually. You get to hear from my mom and then wonder how such a sweet, docile woman produced such a heinous beast like me. But we'll have that convo with Momma Scone, talk about her bracket coming up in about 15 minutes from right now. Hey, let me knock out a break. When we come back, I do want to talk about one move that I think Jay Johnson should consider making this weekend and maybe permanently. We'll get to that as we continue. Stay here. It's AFR.
After further review.
GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They're complete employer solutions. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online at glowresources.com, glowresources.com. Doesn't matter how big your business is or what industry you're in. Glow Resources can help you find the people to make you the most efficient you can be. It's the best way to say it. They're not a temp staffing agency. They're finding permanent solutions for your business. So if you need skilled blue-collar labor, welders, pipe fitters, crane operators, they can help you find those. If you need help finding office staff for any industry, any job from associates to the C-suite, Glow Resources can help. Check them out online. Start there at GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
First the 2-1, and this one rocketed out of the ballpark. This one is gone over the left field landing for Omar Cerna. His second home run as a Tiger, and that one way, way, way out of here.
Omar Cerna's moonshot to lead off the eighth started what became a 4-run eighth that gave LSU some separation on Tuesday night against Grambling. Chris Blair on the LSU Sports Radio Network with the call. A lot of people, we've sort of had this conversation about what LSU may be able to do to sort of inject some life, some energy into this offense, and what changes Jay Johnson may be aligned to make. And a lot of that conversation, I think, has started naturally with the rotation. It's, I think, just where, again, naturally, just where our attention sort of drifts to how do you fix the weekend rotation. I just don't know that there's an easy answer there, because I don't think you have an option waiting in queue. Again, like do you take William Schmidt and move him to the front of the rotation? Maybe, but he hasn't been dominant necessarily. And if you do that, then you're forfeiting the advantage that you have in Game 3. I'm sure they'd love to have Cooper Williams to have a left-handed option in the rotation, but he hasn't been consistent enough to warrant that type of opportunity. Zach Cowan, same thing. But anyway, one thing as the offense before this past weekend had scuffled that I think Jay Johnson might be right to consider is a permanent home in the lineup for Omar Cerna. Cerna was 2 for 5 in the game against Grambling. He doubled, he homered. He did strike out, and you're going to live with some of that with a young player. But I look at Omar Cerna right now, and the upside is just undeniable. He is 6'2", 245, and he hits it a ton. And so I think it is natural to assume that the more experience Cerna gets, the more at-bats he gets, with that super high ceiling, right, that'll continue to improve. So Cerna right now has played in 18 games. He's started 9 times. He's hitting 250. I'm not telling you 250 is anything to write home about. What is obvious, however, is, and look, and he struck out 10 times to just 4 walks. He's been hit twice. That's not good enough. But what I am telling you, which is obvious to you and to me and anybody with eyes, is that is a dude with a ceiling that is much higher than all of the transfers who are getting at-bats ahead of him right now. And to name names, I'm talking about Dardar and Simpson and York. Reeves is not a transfer this year, but you could throw Reeves in the mix. Omar Cerna's ceiling is higher than all of them. Like that, I don't even know how we could even have that debate at this point. He is a freshman who hits it a mile. Dardar hit a couple of home runs in the opening weekend, hasn't hit one since. York, as we've talked about, if he can find that plate discipline, I think he could be outstanding, but I think he's just getting outside of himself, pressing, trying to elevate everything right now. That's why you've seen the strikeouts go up and the pop flies go up for York. I would rather see singles and walks, and then knowing that the long balls will come. But part of me looks at it and says, okay, well, this isn't necessarily just to single anybody. I'm just going to use an example. So, Seth Dardar right now is hitting 218. And he is a defensive liability at second base. Well, if he was hitting 318, I could tolerate him maybe kicking a ball or two at second. I can't tolerate it when you're hitting 218. So part of me says, okay, well, put Ruckert in at second base. And Ruckert has given you competitive at-bats. He's got a long way to go offensively. Ruckert's hitting 231. Again, Dardar's at 218. Ruckert's at 231. He's giving you competitive at-bats. Ruckert's on-base percentage is 474 right now. Dardar's on-base percentage is 400. So Ruckert, in his limited opportunities, has gotten on base more, and he's a better defensive option. Like, maybe that's a change you can make right now. And then and Cerna is the other where I go, okay, listen, there's 3 different ways that you can get Omar Cerna in the lineup. He can catch, he can DH, and he can play first base. You want to give Aaron Beatty a day off? Let Cerna catch. And Cerna will probably be your heir apparent when Aaron Beatty goes pro after next season. Or he could be your starting first baseman next year when York is gone. Or maybe that's Braun. We'll see how it all plays out. You could certainly DH Cerna this year as well if you're not playing him in the field. All that to say, when you're looking for guys who have the potential to produce at a higher level but need ABs and opportunities, Cerna's a guy that's oozing ability. And I'd love to see what it looks like if you give that guy consistent ABs, what he might be able to do in that lineup. And maybe that means putting him at first and having York sit. Or maybe that's DHing Cerna. You put Ruckert at second and Dardar goes to the bench and Cerna DHs and York plays first. So I understand that you're loading up the lineup there with those two guys with a couple of righties. Ruckert's a lefty, but if you have guys that aren't producing, then I'd rather give a guy with guys that have maybe a higher floor but a lower ceiling, but they're not producing close to their ceiling. I'd rather the guy with the much higher ceiling get opportunities to approach that ceiling, if that makes sense. So, Omar Cerna might well be that guy that if I'm Jay Johnson, I look at this weekend and go, he's starting all 3 games. Aaron Beatty's starting behind the plate, but be it first base or DH, Omar Cerna is going to start every game this weekend, and he's going to get 12 to 15 at bats, and I'm going to see what that looks like in a conference weekend, because that dude's ceiling is so high. And if I'm looking for guys that can bury a team with a 3-run homer or bang a double off the wall, and I'm looking for dudes that can produce at their ability level, that's one I'm giving ABs to. And after the game, Jay also told this story about recruiting Cerna.
He's one of the first guys we actually committed, because he committed before the rule changed of when you could talk to guys. And I was watching the 14U National All-America game, and they were listing what's the dream school for every player. And this dude, it says LSU. I was like, oh, this is interesting. And he proceeded to hit a double off the top of the fence at JetBlue Park in Fort Myers. And it's like, I need to figure out who's, what's this guy's deal? And then he came up the next at bat, hit another double off the top of the fence at 14 years old and caught some good innings. And so we were able to make him a priority and get him here. And he's just a good kid too, man. He's really talented, but he's got the right mind. I love how slow the game is moving for him offensively and defensively. And I think he's one of the most talented players on this team.
Again, I'm not telling you Cerna steps in and all of a sudden changes your lineup and everybody starts hitting 350. What I'm telling you is you have a lineup right now where Jake Brown's hitting 400, Curiel's at 329, Stanfield back in the lineups at 304. Among your regulars, Aaron Beatty's at 282, York's at 275, Milam's at 256, your Caraway's at 246, Dardar's at 218. You got to find something. 2/3 of your lineup can't be below the Mendoza line. You've got to find something here. And maybe it's Cerna, a guy who Jay Johnson just told you, offensively the game is slow for him and the talent is massive. We'll get him 12 to 15 at-bats this weekend, and let's see how that looks. And I have a sneaking suspicion if you do that, he ain't coming out the lineup. All right, it's after further review. We're right about Supper Club, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. That's a website where you can go book your reservations. Nearing the weekend, maybe you're looking. Remember, you got a 2 o'clock game on Saturday at the Box, so plenty of time to go have dinner, go to the game, watch the game, and then go out to dinner. Book your dinner reservation for Saturday night or Friday. Matt, it's Friday in Lent. I'm not going to a steakhouse. I get it. But their seafood options are incredible. Have you been to Supper Club? Have you had their Chilean sea bass? Have you had their Order King salmon? Have you had the scallops, the crudo, the tuna, the lobster, the Alaskan king crab legs, the stone crabs? My goodness. You better get by Supper Club. Actually, it's a great opportunity where if you're not going to be eating steak because it's Friday and Lent, it's a great opportunity to go to Supper Club to make yourself eat something other than steak. I always struggle with that. I tell Eric every time we go, I'm like, hey, don't let me order a steak this time. I want to get something different. And then I always get a steak. So maybe that's a good excuse to go on a Friday in Lent. SupperClubBTR.com. Book your reservation. SupperClubBTR.com. All right, y'all, we're here at Marucci's Hitter's House, and glad to have you hanging out. Man, love coming by Marucci. They're such hospitable hosts whenever we come by here. Remember, they always have this cool thing going on right now where you don't just shop. You experience the game when you're here. You can step into the batting cages. You can test demo bats from the official bat of Major League Baseball. And you can gear up at their locations here in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. And if you have an old bat, remember, any aluminum or composite bat that's in working condition, you can get special savings on top-rated bats from Marucci and Victus. So trade in your old bat for a new bat and get a discount here at Marucci's Hitter's House. We're glad to have you hanging with us. HittersHouse.com, HittersHouse.com, HittersHouse.com. Okay, for many of you, or maybe for some of you, someone, this is their favorite segment of the year. When my mom comes on the show and makes her bracket picks. Momma Scone makes her triumphant return to AFR next.
After further review.
Our Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Yes, they do ED treatments. I get it. People always laugh. Funny name, funny logo, get it, all that stuff. It's a conversation starter. It's something to get your attention. But don't let that distract you from what they do. Their objective is to help you live your fullest, best, most vital life. If you got ED, they can help. It's not just a little blue pill. They have that, but they have so many different therapies that can help. Hormone replacement therapy. Men, women, get your levels checked. It's simple. Like, this is so, like, I will tell you what will happen. You'll schedule. You will go in. They will draw a vial of blood. They will run your blood through a lab. 24 hours later, they'll call you with your lab results. You'll have a consultation. They'll say, here are your levels. This is what's healthy. Here's how we can supplement you to get you to healthy levels. It's safe, it's affordable, and you will feel and live like you did when you were younger. YourGoodwood.com. YourGoodwood.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit YourGoodwood.com.
The dulcet tones of the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. It can mean one thing. March Madness is here. Our bracket challenge is going down. And my mom returns to the show to make her picks. Momma Scone back on the show. Hey, Mom, how are you?
Hey, Matt, I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. How was your mani-pedi?
It was wonderful.
Yeah, normally Mom comes on earlier in the show, but she couldn't because she had a mani-pedi today. So are you done? You back home?
Yeah, I'm back home, yeah.
Okay, so could we have done this interview earlier, or did you just walk in the door?
No, I went a little bit earlier, so I've been home for about an hour.
Oh, so we could have done this an hour ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up. Yeah, thanks. No, all good. No, you're good. What's for dinner?
Actually, your nanny in Bahrain brought over some stewed chicken.
Let's go. Shout out Big K. Yeah. Nan and Big K. Yeah. How about that? What did they do? Yeah. What did they bring? What?
Stewed chicken.
Stewed chicken.
Chicken, yeah. It's like chicken off the bone. You know, like she cooked the chicken and then took it all off the bone and it's in a gravy. Like, it's good.
Thought maybe so tonight was paneed meat. No paneed meat tonight?
I haven't made paneed meat in a long time.
Why not?
I don't know. I guess I don't fry much anymore.
I like that, Mom. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like that paneed meat. That was good. What did I like as a kid? What was my favorite meal as a kid that we'd have? Do you remember?
No, not really. It was too long ago.
Yeah, no, it's been a minute. I'm old, which means you're ancient. You know what I mean?
I know.
I'm not as old as Gramps. Shout out Gramps, 93. What's he doing?
I think he's in his office right now.
All right. Just hanging out in there? Checking emails?
Looking through emails, yep.
Yep. Deleting all the reading all the spam emails, because that's what you do when you're 93. You read them all because you think it's people are sending you an email.
Yep.
Shout out to my guy. Shout out to Gramps. Might come over tonight, go hang out with Gramps a little bit. Okay, let's get down to the nitty gritty, Mom. Hey, by the way, first four last night. Did you watch?
Oh no, it started last night.
Well, the first four. Okay, so they have this thing that's kind of like play-in games where it's just to create more nights of TV so they can sell more inventory. So I'm guessing you didn't watch.
You guessed correctly.
Yeah. Hey, do you love Will Wade?
Well, I don't know.
Do you know who Will Wade is?
Will Wade. He's the coach. LSU coach, right?
Well, no, he was the LSU coach. And then he was caught on a federal wiretap talking about making a strong-ass offer to some kid, and then he had to get fired. But now he's the coach at NC State.
Oh, okay, cool.
But they're trying to rehire him here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so they played last night. NC State did in the first 4 and lost. So now people here are like, okay, their season's done. Let's go get him. What do you think about that?
I say whatever works.
Okay, that's what I love.
mean, you know,
we're down. It's a results-based business.
A second chance, huh? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Don't we all deserve second chances?
Yes, we do.
Every one of us.
Yep.
All of us.
Yes.
What about murderers, Mom? Do they deserve a second chance?
Probably. Well, no.
Okay.
I don't know. Don't put me on the spot.
Well, I'm just avoiding talking about your picks because I'm a little miffed with you, Mom. Because, well, first of all, as I look at your picks, your name of your bracket is Darlene Moscona. This is not what we discussed, Mom. You are not Darlene Moscona. For the purposes of this bracket, you are Momma Scone.
Momma Scone. I just what was in there. How did he get Darlene Moscona?
I don't know. It must be what you. Look, I don't think the computer knows your name. So you had to type that in.
No, when I logged in, because I still have my same login, and it came up as Momma Scone.
I'm going to tell you what. We're going to have to go find whoever the man is that's trying to keep Momma Scone down right now. I'm coming to find you. That's what's going to go down here. But I do have a bone to pick with you, Mom.
Why?
You have Duke and Michigan in the national championship game with Duke winning it.
Yeah. Is that a problem?
Like, did you go do research this year? Like, you actually have a sensible bracket.
Well, I went pretty much, if you look at my bracket that I filled out, I went with mostly the better, what do you call it, chalk. I didn't go all chalk. I did go some upset, but I know that Duke is good. Duke is always good, it seems like.
Yeah,
right?
they are usually pretty good. Yep, usually. Yeah. Do you know who Duke's coach is?
Is it that same guy, Krzyzewski or whatever?
No, so he's retired. But that's good that you remembered he was there, and you nailed Krzyzewski. That was good.
Okay. I don't know who it is now, though.
Yeah, John Shire is his name. He used to play there, and then when Coach K, as they call him, retired, they hired John Shire there.
Okay, never heard of him.
No, that's okay. Mama, did you hear that Sister Jean died?
No.
Yeah. Very sad. She was like 110. Very sad.
Oh, really?
Well, I don't think she was 110. I think she was maybe like 104 or something like that. But remember a few years ago when you picked Loyola to go to the Final Four?
Yes. And
you thought it was Loyola of New Orleans?
I did not think it was Loyola of New Orleans. Why do you always keep saying that?
Well, why did you pick Loyola?
I don't know, but I knew it wasn't Loyola New Orleans.
I don't think you did.
Okay. You're always right, Matt.
I mean, usually, except when I'm not.
Okay.
Hey, you got Santa Clara beating Kentucky. That's good. Why do you like that?
What thing is that? What division is that in?
The Midwest. If you're looking at your bracket, it's the bottom right.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I picked them. I just thought, yeah, I'll pick them for a change. I don't think I've ever picked them.
I'm going to tell you what, Mama. There's a lot of chalk on here. I mean, I'm looking at your Sweet 16. Duke, St. John's, South Florida, UConn, Florida. You do have McNeese in the Sweet 16. You know who used to coach McNeese?
No.
Will Wade.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When he came back after being fired, he coached McNeese for 2 years, got him in the tournament twice, and then went to NC State this year.
Okay.
Arizona, Arkansas, Gonzaga, Miami of Florida.
Well, you know I always pick Gonzaga to be in it.
Why do you pick Gonzaga?
Because I like to say Gonzaga.
She likes to say Gonzaga. Well, you've got Gonzaga in the Final Four here, Mom. I mean, your Final Four is Duke, Gonzaga, Houston, Michigan. Like, I'm a little peeved because normally I can look at your bracket and feel very confident that I'm going to beat you because there's just a lot of ridiculousness on there. Now, sometimes your ridiculousness pays off, like it did with Loyola, because you thought it was Loyola of New Orleans. And so you just put him there. But this is one where I feel like you just looked at the little numbers next to every team and just picked the higher number every time.
I did. Most of the time I did. I just decided to do that this year.
You took my strategy.
But, it doesn't always work out because there are upsets. I did do a few upsets, I think.
Okay, what upsets?
I don't know because the thing I printed out doesn't have the numbers on them. So I don't know.
Okay. You didn't like High Point against Wisconsin?
I've never heard of High Point.
You didn't like Long Island against Arizona?
I don't know.
Why didn't you pick Siena against Duke?
Because I think Duke is going to win.
What about Northern Iowa against St. John's? Do you know where St. John's is?
No.
Do you know where Northern Iowa is?
In Iowa.
Nailed it. Good job.
Where is St. John?
New York.
Oh, okay.
Rick Pitino's their coach. Remember him?
Yeah.
Do you remember where he used to coach?
I remember the name. No.
Yeah. He's coached a lot of places. Yeah, he's coached. Oh. He coached at Kentucky. He coached at Providence. Coached at Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
Louisville. Yep.
That is the worst name to try to pronounce.
What is?
But anyway, Louisville. I can't ever say it right.
You can't say Louisville. Why can't you say Louisville?
I always said Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville.
That's how I've always said it.
Just say Lou. Repeat after me. Lou.
Lou.
Vull. Louisville.
Not Ville.
Yeah.
It's Ville. It should be Ville.
I get it. Louisville.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
And you know what? We should be. It should be New Orleans.
I know.
So how do you say it?
New Orleans.
The city you were born in.
The city I was born in.
How do you say it?
Born and raised.
Yeah, how do you say it?
New Orleans.
New Orleans, right? Well, why isn't it New Orleans?
I don't know.
Because that's how you say it. And that's how they say it there. They say Louisville. So that's what we got to say.
Okay. Louisville.
Respect. All right, so what's our bet, Mom? If you beat me, what do I have to do?
I don't know.
Do you want me to let the listeners decide?
Oh, Lord. I don't know. If I beat you?
Yeah, and then what if I beat you?
That makes me nervous. If we letting the listeners decide.
I know. They're a wiry bunch.
Why don't we take... What? Huh?
They're a wiry bunch.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Why don't you get some suggestions and then we can discuss privately?
All right. We'll do that. Send me your suggestions. Email me, tweet me, text me, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Before you go, Mom, tell us the reason that you hate watching basketball on television.
Because I don't like the squeaky shoes.
She doesn't like the squeaky shoes.
I know, and I can turn the volume off, right? I still wouldn't watch.
Did you just make a squeaky shoe sound?
I did.
Let me hear that again. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's what they sound like. And it drives me crazy.
Let it be known.
I just really don't like basketball. It's just not my sport.
Got it.
I like football and baseball.
Got it. Hey, do you think LSU baseball is going to get any better, or are they going to not be good this year?
I think they're going to be good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You think they're going to turn it around?
Yeah. Are they not doing good? I thought they started off good.
They started off okay, and then they were really not good, and then they just lost their SEC opening series at Vanderbilt this past weekend. So, yeah.
I didn't see any of that.
Yeah. Not super awesome. Not super awesome right now. Vibes aren't great, Mom, but a lot of time to get it going.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get it together and be good.
Yep, love that.
I like baseball. I like watching the baseball.
Make me some paneed meat, Mom. I'll come over and have some dinner.
Well, I don't have any to make right now, but when I do, I'll get some and have you over, okay?
Okay. You make some paneed meat, and I'll come over and eat it.
Okay, baby.
All right. Love you, Mom. Good luck on your bracket, but not really.
Love you, too.
All right. See you later. That's
okay.
That's
bye.
my mom. That's Momma Scone, Darlene Francis Mumford Moscona. I'm tell you what, old girl went all chalk on her bracket. I opened that thing up and I was like, what? Like, how is this an acceptable path? I mean, that defeats the purpose. Right? Moms are the best. She cooked a mean hamburger helper too, not gonna lie. That spaghetti. What else did your mom make? Text me like what dinner your mom made for you, that like for your family. Common mom dinners in your house. Spaghetti, paneed meat, hamburger helper, thin crust Domino's pizza. We did that a lot. Love my mom. All right, go fill out your bracket. LouisianaSports.net. Hit the contest page or the homepage. You'll see it there. Go fill out your bracket. Winner gets $1,000 cash. LouisianaSports.net. We'll wrap up from Marucci next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local. Go see our friends over at Clegg's. As a matter of fact, like I could literally look from where I'm sitting right now. Like if I go 2 o'clock right over there, I'd walk right into Clegg's on Siegen. I mean, if I hadn't like torn my rotator cuff, I could probably throw a baseball and hit Clegg's. Maybe not on the fly, but I could probably roll it because it'll roll forever on the concrete. Like that could happen from here. Man, get on by and see him. Just plant something, man. Buy local, shop local. The 4 locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area, bursting with blooms in their greenhouses. My goodness, you better get by and see our friends. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR. We are presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Hanging out today at Marucci's Hitter's House on Siegen. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Ryder, what up?
What's up, man? I heard you had my buddy Johnny Avello on today.
Had Johnny on.
Getting full, man.
Yeah, man. We talked a little bit about March Madness, where their biggest liabilities are, where best case scenarios. So interesting. March Madness is their single biggest event of the year. The Super Bowl, obviously, single biggest day, but March Madness, right. 3 weeks of games, and it's their biggest handle. So I know they got action tonight, man, with NIT and tournament first 4 games tonight. So let's dive in and what we're looking at.
All right, let's start in the NIT. And the first 6 dogs hit last night. We got a classic in the NIT. It's kind of like minor bowl games. He's more interested in playing, and we always bet the military schools. Well, you got one playing today at a Power 5, our high major team in the ACC in Wake Forest, who's had a disappointing season this year. But Navy lost in a buzzer beater against Boston in the Boston U in the semifinals of the Patriot League. Brutal beat. 5 senior starters for the Navy midshipmen. So we know they're going to be ready to play. We know they want to continue playing because this is it for them. So we're going to take Navy plus double digits against Wake Forest in the NIT early on. We're skipping that early 16 seed matchup. We got a hand slap last night with Maryland, Baltimore County. So I got to give out. Bruce Marshall called it on Howard. He said they were better than a lot of the teams that were playing in their conference. I wasn't ready to bet them just yet, that was a game that was played at a higher level than the 11th seed game between NC State and Texas last night. We're skipping the first one. We're going to go to the second one in Miami, Ohio. They've been very, very fortunate this year. 8-0 in toss-up games, 1-possession games. They did finally get caught in the quarterfinal round against UMass in the MAC tournament. Man, all of their metrics are really, really poor. This is the highest point spread that we've ever had in the 11 or any of the first 4, 16 versus 16 or 11 versus 11.
Okay.
We're going to lay it. SMU is sliding, but we're still going to lay it. Just such a low power number. The betting public is on Miami, Ohio, taking the points. We're going to lay it tonight and take SMU, the ponies, in that one.
Otter, where are you tomorrow for the first day of the tournament?
Tomorrow and Friday, first 2 days of the tournament, we'll be at the DraftKings Sportsbook at Bally's downtown. Come on by. They're doing giveaways, popper shots, giveaway, and things like that with a straight bet or a parlay that you're making. So we're going to be hunkering down all weekend, basically. And, looking forward to it. DraftKings menu over at Bally's. They got a great betting menu. So that is our home base for tomorrow, Friday, and all through the weekend.
I got to run, Otter. Thanks. Good luck. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about First South Farm Credit. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Your first call, I want you to remember, first. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit, okay? You could also log on to the website, get all the contact info there, but more importantly as well, they have the free recreational land buyer's guide. This is a totally free resource that First South Farm Credit has put together, and they offer to you, their customer, totally free. It's a great launching point to that process of buying land. If it's, of course, for agriculture, but if it's that recreational property, your hunting property, an investment property, maybe 100 acres to build your family's dream home, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com.